This may be a little bit slow because I forgot my eyeglasses. And my ability to write has decreased because of certain problems. And as a result, when I sign a check these days, I sign up my signature, but the signature of Bernie Madoff. It all began on December 6, 1960, in a 25-inch snowstorm in Brooklyn, New York. Jeremy was born 2 weeks earlier than the obstetrician had predicted. When I said to the obstetrician that he was wrong as to when the birth would occur, he responded, "I'm never wrong. It's Mother Nature who was wrong." Well, his mother and I decided that he had emerged from her tummy earlier than expected because he heard us discussing what kinds of toys we would buy for him. The inquisitive little boy became a lot of fun for everyone he would greet. When my brother Harry, a heavy cigarette smoker, would come to play with him, he would jump up and down in his crib, chanting, "Harry, boxy pocket, and would reach for his shirt pocket, which always contained a package of cigarettes. Fortunately, Jeremy never became a smoker. I worked in Tarrytown, New York, 6 days a week, and eventually we moved there to a garden apartment. Jeremy soon became known as the wild kid who would race his tricycle down the concrete stairs outside the building. As he grew older, he found himself living in a massive library of books on Hebrew literature and Jewish history. His brilliant mother, who passed away in 2004, who earned her PhD at Columbia University, had become professor of Hebrew literature and Jewish studies in the State University of New York. And so began Jeremy's love and commitment to Judaism. He also became interested in the sciences, perhaps because he enjoyed coming to my lab on weekends and playing with liquid nitrogen. His devotion to Judaism and his interest in science didn't keep him from taking a can of soda out of the refrigerator, shaking it violently, and laughing as it exploded into the air and soaked the ceiling. It helped to make me quite agile in getting up on ladders. He graduated from Hebrew High School and became the first student to be accepted by MIT. He graduated in 1981 and immediately went off to Israel to make Aliyah. He then received a master's degree in chemical physics from the Weizmann Institute, and later, in a joint program with Northwestern University, he received a MBA. He served in the Israeli Air Force for 2 years and then decided that his career would be in computer technology. Right after he completed his service in the Air Force, 1991, he came down with Hodgkin's disease and was treated at Sloan Kettering Hospital in New York with chemo and radiation, and he went into remission from that disease. Jeremy returned to Israel and met that New Jersey girl, Lisa, Their overwhelming love for each other resulted in a beautiful marriage. It was certainly a relationship that was beshed. Two people of unique kindness and caring, with brilliant minds and devotion to Judaism and to the state of Israel. The matching of their genes resulted in two boys, Shachar and Chaim, both of whom have their parents' attributes. 14 years after the initial Hodgkin's disease, Jeremy again developed what was called a different form of Hodgkin's disease. It was a stage 4. Again, he was treated with chemo and radiation. This was at Hadassah Hospital. And again, he went into recession. It was very puzzling because if the disease comes back, it's generally within 6 months to a year after chemo. So not only those doctors at Hadassah, but at Sloan Kettering in New York were very much puzzled. So they said it's a different form. And because it was a stage 4, the feeling was that he should have a stem cell transplant, which he did have, in order to try to build up. It was not a successful process. He did go into remission and continued his life with wonderful Lisa and the boys. And then suddenly, something new appeared, something which is very complex and extremely rare, known as neuroendocrine tumor, which resulted in malignancies in the pancreas and in the liver. He was sent to Basel, Switzerland for a treatment which was not done at Hadassah Hospital at that time. It since has been developed at Hadassah, and was treated there, and he appeared to go into remission. It was felt that eventually his system would stabilize and he would probably have a peaceful life for at least 3 to 5 years. And suddenly, other things developed. Fluid appeared in his stomach, fluid in his lungs. He spent about 4 weeks in the hospital, came home, and several hours later had to go back to the hospital. And then last Thursday, I believe it was, he was sent home again. And suddenly, he felt very, very sick. He was back in the hospital because internal bleeding was taking place. Exactly where and why, no one seems to have known. He did believe, Lisa was told, and he was told, that it might take a month or 2 months or so, but he would recover. And he really believed that that would be the case. Life is certainly the most beautiful and creative thing in our universe. The best people are taken from us early in their lives. Why? I miss him terribly. We would speak on the phone twice every day. Once around 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and then around 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. And our discussions would become quite lengthy. Politics, science, technology, medicine, and would always end in an exchange of jokes. And his jokes were really fantastic. He was quite a comedian. And every time we had the phone conversation, I felt really good. I couldn't wait to see him again in Israel. My wife and I used to go once a year, and then later on, it was twice a year, generally staying for 3 or 4 weeks. All I can say is, my dear son, you have my love forever.